Yeah, everyone, this is Patrick from UsdJpy Code Training System, and it's Saturday, the 26th of June, 2021. And this is the weekly technical analysis for spot gold and dollar yen for the 5th week of June. Let's begin with spot gold. And after the previous week's fall, major fall due to the Federal Reserve policy changes and announcements, there's just minor pullbacks for last week with a very small range in about 300 pips for just under, about 300 pips for last week. Yeah, just under 300. And only after Monday's big bounce from the support level, then the rest of the week it is basically just consolidating. So not no drastic moves for last week, and it's caught between the resistance at the 1800 right above here, and with support from the 21 pip retracement at 1762. Yeah, let's just extend this slightly. So it could continue to consolidate within this zone here of about 300 pips, and until it needs to break out one way or the other, depending on the US dollar movement. And below that, there is a critical 1750 support level as well before it hits on to 1725, which we identified last week. Any upside move will be limited. There's a daily 200 and a daily 55 coming down as well. So this is going to be a very strong resistance zone if it does try to break out above 1800. And for last week, it just happens the weekly pivot was also just right at the 1800 level. Didn't quite get there also. Right, this week there's for the US, there's only some minor news, but the major one is on Friday, as usual, the first Friday of every month, non-farm payroll report. And that could either trigger a move one way or the other. And we'll see what will happen here. There's also, you can see there's some consolidation here as it moves into a apex of this small triangle. And it could also be just a bearish pennant, and which could trigger breakout lower. Right, so we'll see next week whether there's a breakdown. Let's take a look at the US dollar index as well. And the DXY did pull back lower, and it dipped below the daily 200 EMA and the support zone, but managed to bounce back up on Wednesday and Fridays to close right just below the 38 fib and the daily 200 EMA, so it needs to break out higher above that zone, which should be a critical support zone in order to drive towards the 21 Fib retracement target. Otherwise, if it dips lower, there is support from this 50 Fib area, and there's also the 55 EMA coming up. So we'll see if there's either further consolidation for next week or whether there could be a breakout higher depending on the non-farm payroll report, key figures from there. Okay. Let's move back to SpotCo here. Let's take a look on the weekly time frame, and you can see that that pullback was very minor and still sitting under the weekly 55 EMA, which is just below the 1800, 1790. So that's why it was unable to reach the 1800 level. It's blocked by the weekly 55 EMA. Okay, so this will be a critical week to see whether this support at 21 Fib will hold. And let's move this low for now and identify this as a interim target, interim support zone. All right, let's move on to dollar yen. And dollar yen managed to find strong support after dipping below the 110 on the Monday. It bounced back up with a strong hammer candlestick and ran up to the 111 resistance zone, and that's where there's a pause and pull back for now, and that's because this is a critical high for the year as well, and yeah, it's already retested it. We'll see if it's able to find some support. The support for last week was right at the weekly pivot, where managed to bounce from the 110. So we'll see if there's support above the 110, above the previous week's weekly pivot, and it could be an attempt to break through the 111. Worst case, it could dip down lower all the way back down to 110. But I think it's able to find some support around the 110.50. Went down to a low on Friday of 110.48, hitting the 10 SMA. So we'll see if that will hold. It may dip slightly lower. Last week's weekly pivot was at 110.21. So this is a good support zone. All right, and let's take a quick look on the weekly time frame. Yes, it's also, you can see it's quite a bullish close. So after a small pullback, that could be further continuation move next week, and it could push through the 111 resistance zone. Okay, so we'll see when it will do that, when it will attempt to do that, and whether it will leave it till late till the non-farm payroll report, or it could attempt to break out higher first and then pull back down at the end of the week. We shall see. All right, so do check out my other videos on the other major pairs, and have a safe week, have a good trading week, and cheers for now.